Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to do a little small trade recap on what I did wrong today. So I ended up making two trades today. One of them was a long, ended up getting stopped out on that. What made me have a bias on being long is we had high time frame bearish SMTs at the lows because of this huge drop that we had from Asia session. We had a lot of imbalances resting above. Um, we had previous session highs that haven't been tapped into yet. So ideally, I wanted to be long with everything and how order flow was respecting discount PD arrays. So that's why I was long. Again, ended up getting stopped out. I took that on ES. Then I was like, all right, I entered too early, which caused me to get stopped out. And with the volatility of market opens, manipulation, and everything. So, moving on to the actual trade, that is one of my strategies, and that's simply focusing on a premium or discount PD array if that gets respected or disrespected or not. Usually respected, forming an inversion fair value gap off of that, and I'd like to see an SMT in that area. So as you guys can see on NASDAQ, I ended up taking a short that ended up being completely wrong. And like I said, I know why. But after seeing on a 15-minute time frame, if this, oh bro, come on now. After seeing on a 15-minute time frame, we had closure below this PD array, 15-minute PD array, even though it was a mitigated 15-minute PD array. I still like to every now and then keep track on mitigated and unmitigated PD arrays. It was the same thing on both pairs. I see this big bearish candle forming an order block, as you guys can see right here would be our order block. We had respecting this premium PD array, forming an SMT at the high. I scaled down to the 5 minutes for a better entry. I noticed that we have a 5-minute BPR. BPRs for me personally is like a hate and love relationship. So, but I also saw that we had an order block and everything else. So I decided to take a trade off of this. So this was my entry, as you guys can see. Immediately stopped out. So I thought after seeing the 15-minute displacement candle, disrespecting previous mitigated PD arrays, 4-minute order block, the premium PD array getting respected, 4-minute SMT. That's usually what I like to see on this trade. But I know exactly where I went wrong on this. So beforehand, it was one was switching bias. It's best bet to just stick with one, and you're eventually gonna find your setup sooner or later. So with that, um, going short. Also, we were aligned with macros at the time. So if anything, I thought so. If we're not gonna sweep up London high, maybe we're gonna sweep down to Asia low, form some type of SMT if possible, um, or liquidity sweep, form this key level, and then have a continuation, upwards. So it was like consolidating, manipulate down, and then distribute back up, as you guys can see right there. But obviously, we did not end up doing that. So, like I said, with my first trade on how bullish we were, I guess that's where all the volatility ended up coming in. So, which means that for me to know, and this is from market experience, to know how bullish we are, there's no way that this SMT is going to hold. As you guys can see, the SMT did not hold. So pretty quick with that and everything else. I do want to go over this real quick. This was going to be if I was going to take a third trade, which I don't end up doing, this is something, a little small lesson on a bottom tick trade that I was going to end up doing. But I've had enough today, so, which is why I didn't take this trade. I did want to take it on a paper, but I ended up getting edged. So right here, as you guys can see, we had this huge leg up. This is where I would set my OTE placement on a 5-minute time frame. Yes, we still have multiple BPRs in this area, but it's the same thing on the 1-minute time frame as well. We have this BPR, or this huge just range right in this area that needs to get filled into. So I had my eyes on this. I initially, using OTE, target my entry around 0.7, but at this I was at this price, 22,907. It was like that flat, and then I don't know, I think my stop loss was like for a better, more secure stop loss, yes, it should be under this, but for risk management or better RR, not risk management, better RR, would probably be like down here. But yeah, the entry is mostly where I focus on. Can figure out risk management later on, usually before your trades. But anyways, moving on to that, we have this 1-minute BPR. I wasn't focused on the 1 minute, I was focused on the 5-minute. So our 5-minute BPR would be right here. Notice that it was aligned, our OT was lined up in a PD array, so I wanted to target 0.7 of this. I wasn't going to target CE point of this. I thought it was too low. But where I made my mistake is I thought this was really all we had. Then I didn't scale down onto the 1-minute time frame. On the 1-minute time frame, we would have been pushed up a little bit higher. And as you guys can see, we respected this 1-minute BPR CE point, which would have been my entry. And seeing this on the 1 minute, I probably would have taken my entry off of the 0.66, having stop loss. It's probably the same thing, really, for a better R at 0.78. Then targeting, because of the drop, extra or internal range of liquidity to external range of liquidity. For those of you that know that, for those of you that don't know that, I teach that in my YouTube on one of the little small boot camps. I was scared to risk some money. But sorry about that. But this is what would have been my bottom tick trade. But small recap. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to follow up in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And for live calls and partially small little call outs for trades, that will be located in my Discord. So free Discord, just a community, just for guidance. Simple as that. So this is where I would have bottomed, take a trade, but I ended up getting edged because I was focused on the 5-minute time frame. And this was my short that had everything checked off my checklist, but we were just bullish overall, so that SMT wasn't gonna hold. So there's that.